Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Nas rapping about selling his soul in one of his unreleased songs. Let's get right into it. On this channel, we often speak about the newer artists that are popular today, displaying their Masonic alliance in their music. Rappers like Young Thug, Lil Uzi, and Trippie Redd, who make it obvious they sold their souls and took the oath. In the 2020s, we can see artists don't feel the need to hide their alliance anymore. They have succeeded in manipulating the audience into thinking their satanic imagery is just a theme for a video. In a lot of these videos I put out, I often see people commenting regarding older artists they believe never sold their souls. Some people tend to point out the fact that these older artists don't show satanic imagery in their music videos like the artists of this generation. The thing is, selling your soul for fame and riches in the music industry goes all the way back to the times of Robert Johnson, and honestly, even further back than that. The artists of the past, just like the rappers now, had to pay the price to make it big. For sure, the Masonic imagery was more hidden, but it was definitely always there. For example, in this music video from 1993 from the group Lord of the Underground, their song called Here Comes the Lord, one of the people a part of the crew was wearing a Masonic square and compass shirt hidden in plain sight. It only lasts a few seconds in the music video, but they're openly showing their alliance. The imagery has always been there, it's just way more hidden now. Those who control the music industry and have all the power make those who want the world pay for it with their soul. I often see people comment that people aren't allowed to sell their soul, and then they repeat the same thing they heard another person say. You can't sell your soul because it belongs to God. The thing is, these people forget what their souls truly is. If we look up the definition of what a soul is, you get this answer: the spiritual, immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal. Our souls is what's allowed to live forever, while our flesh remains on earth underground rotting away. God indeed owns all our souls because He created all of us, including our souls, but He doesn't control or dictate what we do with our souls. God provided humanity with free will to do as they please with their soul. When you sell your soul to the devil, you've traded your eternal life in paradise for a temporary paradise on earth. It doesn't mean the devil now has your soul in a jar. It just means you've chosen to follow him and live like him at the cost of your soul, which represents your eternal life. These rappers are 100% selling their souls when they choose to make music pushing a destructive agenda for their own selfish gain. Rappers know the music they create guides the youth and shapes their minds. These artists have the youth in their hands. The kids want to dress like them, act like them, and talk like them. And these artists choose to teach their fans nothing but destruction for money. This is what selling your soul is: compromising your God-given morals to make yourself rich and live as a god. One of the rappers I often see people comment that didn't sell their souls is Nas. Like this comment here that read, "Would you do a video on Nas? I'm curious what you'll find out." But my assumption, he might be one of the few rappers who isn't a Freemason. Ironically, I was literally working on this Nas video when I went to take a look at my recent comments on my last video and I saw this. Well, All-Star Soldier 13, I have some bad news for you. What I found out about Nas might just change your perspective on him. See, Nas, just like Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac, is considered one of the top artists to ever make hip-hop. In the 90s and the 2000s, Nas was one of the biggest rappers out, selling millions of records and collecting plaques on top of plaques. Nas was so big, he went toe-to-toe with Jay-Z in a rap beef that many people claim he won. He has one of the most legendary careers and would always be respected as one of the top lyricists, MCs in hip-hop. But how did Nas become so legendary? How did he even make it to begin with? On this channel, we already know that to make it to the level Nas was on back in his prime doesn't come cheap. In order to be a star at the level that Nas was on, more than just talent is needed. There's only one being that grants a person the entire world, and that's the fallen angel Lucifer, who would make you a god on earth at the cost of your eternal life in paradise. I have come to believe Nas sold his soul to the devil in order to have the world. The reason I have come to this conclusion is because of no other than Nas himself, as he openly rapped about selling his soul in an unreleased version of his song called You're the Man. In Nas's unreleased version of You're the Man, he states some very disturbing things, which explains why he chose not to put this version out. In the song, it appears that Nas even explains how he sold his soul. I must warn you, parts of the lyrics are extremely disturbing, and I had to block certain words out due to the community guidelines. In the opening lines of the second verse, Nas raps, "At a church on my hand was a preacher's blood. I swallow dirt from a graveyard in need of love. I vomit blunt residue. I want revenue, dreaming, and pump lead at you devils trying to take my freedom." Nas opens the song by stating at a church he was attending, he had a preacher's blood on his hands. Why is he rapping about having a preacher's blood on his hands? And in what kind of church would he have a preacher's blood on his hands? Well, we all know occultists are known to practice a form of ritual magic called blood magic, usually associated with a ritual sacrifice. In my opinion, this line is pointing to exactly that, a person making a ritual offering. He then proceeds to rap that he swallows dirt from a graveyard in need of love. Nas is again referring to an occultic practice where occultists use dirt from graveyards in their ritual magic. They believe the dirt is connected to the person buried underneath it. Nas is talking about an occultic ritual offering openly in his song. He is telling us the steps of how he sold his soul, something I can't say I have seen another artist do. He then raps about vomiting blunt residue and wanting revenue, dreaming about it after swallowing a handful of graveyard dirt. He is breaking down his ritual in real time in this song. He is telling his fans what he asked for when he sold his soul, as he wanted it all. What he raps in the next part of this verse has to be the most disturbing thing I have ever heard a rapper say. He raps, "It drove me crazy the day I drank my own urine, my own fluids with a 9 to my brain. I had to change the word, but he states he drank his own man stuff." He then continues to rap, "But wait a second, give me time to explain. Women in fast cars and diamond rings can poison a rap star. I saw a dead bird flying through a broken sky." I have never heard a rapper openly talk about an occultic ritual like this before. Nas is literally telling his audience step by step what he did in order to sell his soul. He tells the audience that it drove him crazy the day he drank his own liquids. This is very important, and it points directly to Marina Abramovich's spirit cooking, as she tells people to do the same thing in her spirit cooking spells. He then proceeds to say why he did what he did, and it's because he wanted the money, women, riches, and fast cars. He wanted all the devil could offer him. He wanted the world, and was willing to trade his soul, his eternal life, for his paradise on earth. Nas then proceeds to rap, "Vision my own skeleton, swimming in eternal fire. Broads play with pentagrams in their private area, like the exorcist. Then they gave birth to my seeds." In this part of the song, we can hear Nas rapping about his burning end. Nas openly admits he is going to meet a burning end because of choosing to sell his soul. He talks about Crowley's form of X-magic. Aleister Crowley is the man that these celebrities all choose to worship. He is the one that guided these occultists into the new age. I honestly want to see what excuses Nas's fans are gonna make for these lyrics. Why rap about any of this disturbing stuff? If it weren't true, what's the point? Nas's serious tone throughout the song lets you know he is being honest. In my opinion, this explains why he always appears depressed even though he is rich and famous. He has no soul, no purpose, no way to eternal life with God. He traded it all for paradise on earth in the kingdom of Lucifer. Nas, just like the other superstars, are Masonic puppets who took the oath. He sold his soul to have the world, and we can see more proof of than all red. We must remember Lucifer offered the world to Jesus, and he turned it down. Opposite. Nas and Diddy both chose to mock Jesus and depict themselves as Jesus on the level of gods. Nas again talked about selling his soul for the world in his song ironically titled "The World Is Yours." In the song he raps, "Dwelling in the rotten apple, you get tackled or caught by the devil's lasso." Nas openly admits he got caught by the devil's lasso in a song where he is rapping about having the world. And he also talks about the rotten apple, which is another reference for the forbidden fruit. The apple is usually referred to the forbidden fruit that God instructed Adam and Eve not to eat in the end. People get confused because an artist is talented or doesn't show that much imagery, thinking this means they didn't sell their souls. You still have to pay attention to their music, as it always reveals the truth on what they're pushing. In my opinion, after looking at these songs, I 100% feel Nas sold his soul to have the world. We have to remember not to allow these artists to manipulate our minds. We have to remember their goal is to guide us away from God. Like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth Fit store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes directly to helping the channel and furthering Truth Records. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts below and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there for more truth. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.